What is going on, Genshin fam? In today's video, we are going to be doing a guide on Kinich. He's going to be the new 5-star Dendro Claymore character coming out in the second phase of 5.0. Now, this video is recorded before his release, of course, so the changes for his multipliers can still happen, but his core kit is going to remain the same, so we're going to focus on that. He's going to be the main DPS, dealing most of his damage through his elemental skill, which will grant him a special state as well as a grappling mechanic, allowing him to move around in the overworld and between enemies. In this video, we'll be going over his talents, his best build, so let's get into the video. Now, for his normal attack, he performs a 3-hit combo, and you won't be using this as his main source of damage is from his skill, but after you do his skill, he can perform a mid-air swing attack, which is pretty cool, especially traversing Teyvat. Now, for his elemental skill, now this is a lot, but let's break it down. His skill, Canopy Hunter, he uses a grapple in the air to either move swiftly or attack his opponents. If there is an opponent or object that can be attacked, he will attach to it and enter his Night Soul Blessing state with 0 points. However, if neither is nearby, he fires a grappling hook and swings mid-air, decreasing his skill cooldown by 60%. This is going to allow you to traverse Natlan like Tarzan, I should say. It looks really fun to use. So what happens in this Night Soul state? Well, his blessing state lasts for 10 seconds and he generates 2 soul points every second. He will hook to his opponents and use his normal attack to fire loop shots as he loops around the enemy with his grapple. As he does this, he's going to be dealing Dendro damage and generating 3 Night Soul points. This is considered skill damage, not normal attack. Now, when he has max points, he can use his skill again, which will now be a skill spiker cannon, dealing more Dendro damage. Now, this multiplier is huge. Holding this skill will allow you to aim. Now, one more thing, after grappling to an opponent or firing off a cannon, a blind spot will appear next to the opponent. Now, when Kinich enters this spot, he will gain 4 Night Soul points. If the grapple does break due to exceeding the max distance, just use another normal attack to gain another grapple on a nearby opponent. His skill may seem like a lot to read, but in simple terms, grapple, jump around, and shoot for big Dendro damage, easy enough. Use his skill again when a cannon is ready for bigger Dendro damage. Now, for his elemental burst, he summons his companion Ajal to deal AoE Dendro damage. Now, Ajal will also unleash his Dragon Breath at intervals, dealing even more AoE Dendro damage. If Kinich is in the Night Soul Blessing state when this is used, this blessing's duration is extended by 1.7 seconds. The laser damage is pretty significant. The dragon duration is 15 seconds, so you have a lot of uptime on this. Now, let's go over Kinich's passive, Swift Envoy. When in the area of Flogenstein mechanics within Natlan and interacting with items in Natlan, your party movement speed will be increased by 15% for 10 seconds. This is honestly awesome for exploration. Now, for his next passive, Night Realm's Gifts. When Kinich uses his skill mid-air swing, he can consume 10 Flogenstein points to swing. Now, when switching to Kinich in these areas where the Flogenstein mechanics are, Kinich does different things. When facing coil grass sigils, he will fire a grapple towards it. When there are opponents nearby and in combat, Kinich will use his skill onto one opponent. This adds more fluidity into his kit, as switching is going to be much easier in Natlan, as we are seeing a pattern in these characters. Kinich's third passive, the Price of Desolation. In the Night Soul state, opponents hit by Kinich's skill will enter the Desolation. When affected by burning or burgeon reaction damage, they will restore 7 Night Soul points. This can happen every 0.8 seconds. This is a great passive as it allows you to use his cannon, which has huge damage multipliers more often, gaining damage overall. Now, for the fourth passive, Flame Spirit Pact. When triggering a Night Soul burst, Kinich will gain 1 stack of Hunter's experience that lasts 15 seconds max 2. When Kinich uses his cannon within his skill, all stacks will be consumed and increases the cannon shot damage by 320% of Kinich's attack. Now, what is Night Soul Burst? Well, it's simple. When a party contains a character from Natlan, when a character deals elemental damage to an opponent, a Night Soul Burst will be triggered. That is it, plain and simple, so you're going to be able to gain these stacks pretty frequently. His core kit adds a lot of damage on top of damage, making his main source to be his skill and moreover his spike cannon. He already looks great at C0, but let's go ahead and look at his constellation, his C1. After Kinich lands from his skill mid-air swing, his movement speed will be increased by 30% for 6 seconds. Spike Cannon's crit damage will also be increased by 100%. Wow, some more exploration help and a huge damage buff to his cannon. C1 actually looks insane. His C2, when using his skill to hit opponents, it will decrease danger resistance by 30% for 6 seconds. Spike Cannon Kinich fires after entering Night Soul state has increased AoE, and the damage is increased by 100%. Honestly, C2 just adds more damage plus a danger resist shred that is amazing for your entire team. His C4, when in the Night Soul state, Kinich will restore 5 energy after using loop shots or unleashing his cannon. His ult deals 70% more damage as well, so some energy regeneration and a damage buff all in one constellation is great. His C6, after his cannon hits an opponent, it will bounce between opponents, dealing 700% of Kinich's attack as Dendro damage. The bounce will also gain all the relevant buffs from his kit. This is an amazing constellation. All his constellations seem to just really buff his damage. He's another attack scaling Dendro unit that looks amazing. I can see Emily being one of his top supports along with Dea and Bennett. Now that we have his kit out of the way, how do we build him? Well, for talents, you are going to want to level up his skill, then burst, then normal attack. For artifact sets, a 2-piece option would be Dendro damage, attack, or just attack and attack. We do have some 4-piece options for him. The 4-piece Deepwood set is great on him to shred the Dendro resistance on opponents, but if another person in your party has this, then you can use something else. The new artifact set in Natlan is going to be the Obsidian Codex, and it's going to be okay on him as the 2-piece gives the equivalent character a damage increase in the Night Soul state, but the 4-piece gives the character on the field a crit rate increase of 40% for 6 seconds when consuming at least 1 Night Soul point. The problem here is that Kinich will consume Night Soul points to fire his cannon, so it may take some time to ramp up. The 4-piece Unfinished Reverie is a great option if you use him in Burning Comms, which are his best compositions, so it gives him an insane damage buff overall. Now for Kinich's weapon choice, well, he really loves attack, crit rate, and crit damage, so any weapon with those substats are going to be great on him. Some 4 stars is going to be the Serpent Spine, which is going to be his overall best 4-star option. It is locked behind the battle pass, but it has a great base attack and crit rate substat. A free-to-play option for him is going to be the new craftable option in Natlan, that's going to be the Earth Shaker. With burning teams, it's going to increase his skill damage overall, which is amazing on him. Also, the event weapon, the Ultimate Overload's Mega Magic Sword, is going to be great on him as well. Now for 5 stars, I do want to recommend the Verdict. If you have 1 extra lying around, then he can make use of it. For the standard banner, the Wolf's Gravestone is going to be a great option for him with that high base attack and attack percentage substat. His best overall though is going to be his own signature weapon, the Mountain King's Fang. So what kind of teams is he great on? Well, like I said before, Burning Comms are going to be his best in slot. So Emily's going to be an amazing support with him, along with Xiangling and Bennett adding attack buffs and 2 off-field DPSs as Emily causing even more burning damage. And if you don't have Emily, then just go ahead and switch her with Nahida. For Burgeon, you can also swap out Emily for Farina, but you will need to build some more EM on Xiangling. And of course, you can use him with Nilou Bloom teams with Farina, Baizu, and Nilou. Overall, I'm excited for him. An attack scaling Dendro character like Emily is really exciting for me. I think it's quite unique and his kit just seems so amazing. Please comment down below on what you think of him. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. I'm happy to answer any of them. If you enjoyed this clear, concise video, which I'm hoping it was, please like, share, and subscribe as it means the world to me. I do stream most nights on Twitch, so you can totally come and catch me on there. I have an amazing small community, and I'll see you on my next video.